What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur. We're out there helping parents make money online. Turn your side hustle into your main hustle. And I am your humble host, Tracy Brinkmann, and I'm thrilled that you're joining me here again today. So whether you're a seasoned veteran on this journey or you're just that curious newcomer, I can promise you this one thing. You're in for a treat today. So grab your favorite beverage, settle on in, and let's take a deep dive into a topic that could very well transform the trajectory of your life and your business. So, I know, let me hype that up a little bit more, right? In our last episode, we explored the vast yet often underestimated power of compounding. It's all quiet, and yet it's monumental in its majesty. Well, today we are going to continue this momentum by zeroing in on incremental change. Now, this is a concept that resonates 100% so profoundly with the same frame of mind from yesterday's episode. You see, incremental change, it is those slight daily adjustments, those little tweaks, those little nuances, those little shifts that are the essence of long-lasting growth. I want you to imagine it's like making the adjustment on your camera's focus. The image starts off a little blurry, a little undefined, but with small, precise adjustments, clarity emerges in your life and in your business. Our businesses and our lives work much the same if you really think about it. Here's the opening question I have for you today. What one small step can you take today that might lead to that significant shift tomorrow? What small incremental camera focus adjustment can you make that can impact you hugely by bringing something into clarity? I want you to keep that in mind as we dive into the rest of this episode. All right, so let's get right into the heart of today's discussion. Incremental change. I don't want to tease it anymore. What do I mean by incremental change, you may ask? I mean, I kind of tease it a little bit, but simply put, it's a series of small, deliberate steps towards your improvement, towards your relationship getting better, towards your business selling more, towards whatever it is, being a better parent, whatever it might be for you. These aren't sweeping changes, right? These aren't sweeping changes that overturn your world overnight, but rather these small, strategic, tiny little shifts that seem to pave the way for profound and, more importantly, lasting transformation. You see, one of the biggest misconceptions that I believe is still out there today is that change needs to be big and grandiose and instant. We're constantly bombarded with these overnight success stories, these massive revamps that someone or some business went through that seem to suggest that the only path to progress is through these grand gestures. Here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Those stories often miss the mark of reality, right? Because there are countless smaller steps and tweaks that led to that final visible step that we all noticed. Oh, wow, that's what caused them to be overnight successes. No, it was everything that led up maybe to that one big moment where they got discovered, whatever discovered is in the instance that you may be thinking about. Imagine, if you will, an artist painstakingly painting a mural, stroke by stroke, color by color. They build layers, one on top of the other, essential to the masterpiece. Incremental change works the same way. Each small step is a layer, is a color, is a shift, is a brushstroke, building towards a more complete picture. At what point is it a masterpiece? Was it a masterpiece when it was first started? Maybe. Who knows? In business, much as like in life, embracing this philosophy of gradual change comes with profound benefits. First, it reduces risk. Oh, let that one sink in for a moment. When changes are small and iterative, you're able to course correct quickly, so whoosh, really fast. If something doesn't go as planned, you begin to avoid major disruptions. It also improves adaptability. You see, I know you're going to say, well, of course it is. But let me tell you, my friend, the world is dynamic. Your industry evolves. You evolve. Your family evolves. Everything about you evolves. And so must your business. Incremental changes allow your business to shift, to move, to dodge, to weave, and adapt without extensive downtime. And lastly, it fosters a culture of continuous improvement. When you or your family or your team understands that small changes are valued, it encourages an environment of ongoing development, of ongoing learning, of ongoing innovation. Everyone around you that is in your sphere of influence starts getting involved in spotting opportunities for improvement. Oh, wow, I think we could do better here. Oh, have you thought about changing that? Have you thought about doing this? This creates this collective momentum that pushes you and your business and your family and your relationships forward. Yeah, you feel me, right? So, as we explore a little further today, let's shake off all these misconceptions that could be holding us back. Real change, my friend, doesn't need to be flashy to be effective. It needs to be thoughtful, and it needs to be persistent. And in every step, there's an opportunity for greatness. All right, so now we've kind of embraced the philosophy of incremental change. I think the next logical step is, how do we put it into action, Tracy? Well, I am so glad you asked. Let me tell you. Specifically, I think, how do we identify and how do we prioritize these small improvements that will lead to those big results I'm hungry for, that I need, that I want, that I desire, that I dream of? Well, thankfully, we have a few powerful frameworks and techniques at our disposal that we can use. And let me share some of those with you. Let's start with identifying the areas that we have for improvement. I'm not saying the areas where you suck at. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but an area that you can improve on. Maybe you're already good and you want to get better. Maybe you're better and you want to get best. Maybe you're best and you want to be great. I don't know, whatever it might be. One classic tool that you can use is the SWOT analysis, SWOT. This framework is going to help you assess the internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as the external opportunities and threats. SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, all that face your business. Ladies and gentlemen, you can also use this for your relationships. Yeah, this fits in everything. So many people don't use it for that, but it's a thought worth considering.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
By regularly conducting a SWOT analysis in whatever area of your life you want to focus on, you gain clarity on where small, little nuances you can I'm going to dial this in just a little bit, and I'm going to turn this up really big, right? With all these small, impactful changes might catapult you, right? Just to shoot you straight forward. Next up, the Pareto principle. Some of you have heard this, and for those of you who haven't, it's also known as the 80-20 rule. It suggests that roughly 80% of the effects, positive or negative, are caused by 20% of the causes. Yeah, it means 80% of what you're doing, you don't need to do, because 80% of what you want to accomplish is going to be focused on 20% of what it is you do. Just let that sink in for a moment. For your businesses, this means focusing on 20% of your actions that will yield 80% of your desired results. And what are those results? Well, usually they're sales, acquiring new clients, whatever it might be, coming up with the next new amazing product, whatever it is. So what is the 80% of the actions that you shouldn't be taking? See, by identifying these high impact, or on the other side, those low impact areas, you can focus your efforts on those things that really matter, that really are going to move the needle for you. Stop saying, well, if I just write that next blog article, when you don't even have a product yet. You feel me? Okay. Once you've identified those potential areas for improvement, again, not the areas you suck, just the areas you need to dial up a little bit. The key next is to prioritize them. Here's where the impact and effort matrix can play a little pivotal role. Picture this as a simple grid. On one axis, maybe across the bottom, is impact. On the other axis, maybe going up, is effort. By plotting your changes on this grid, you can easily identify quick wins with low effort. Or you could identify high impact initiatives that can have low effort, right? I used to do this with brainstorming opportunities. We used to sit and do brainstorming initiatives. Okay, here is all the ideas, and nobody critique anybody. I just want to hear the ideas. And you wrote them all down. And if you haven't tried this, you should try it because it's amazing. You get 2 or 3 people into a room and effectively tell them, come up with all your ideas. Silly, stupid, crazy, I don't care. Maybe even the impossible ones, because here's what happens. I say an idea, then you say an idea, and we get through all the obvious ideas, and all the things that we've written up on the board and shared between each other sparks a new idea. An idea that we alone, you alone, or I alone would have never come up with. It's like this third brain begins to form. And then what we would do is we would go through each one of these ideas and say, is this high effort or low effort, right? Maybe even high, medium, or low. You can go 3. And then mark them down. Now, is it going to be high impact, low impact, or medium impact? How about the cost? High cost, medium cost, or low cost? And then you would sort them down and say, show me all the ones that would give me high impact, at low cost, and low effort. You're right? You focus there first. You bang those puppies out, and everything starts going great, and everyone starts going, wow, this is amazing. We're doing amazing things. And then you start going after the medium ones. Or you sit down and have another brainstorming session because a whole new realm of ideas begin to open up because you're in a new space now, and you rinse and you repeat. In addition, turning to agile methodologies like this can significantly aid in your pursuit of incremental improvements. Like I said, if you sit down and brainstorm a bunch of ideas and then say, here are the ones we're going to go after, low cost, low effort, high impact, and then you start doing those, you'll see the needle start to move forward. And then you go back and you rinse and repeat, you do it again. These are agile methodologies. Being agile and having this iterative approach facilitates ongoing adjustments and prioritizes flexibility. This makes it ideal for small, continuous improvements. Ka-chunka. You just keep pushing on forward. Little baby steps. You are like the turtle. While the rabbit's running around doing all these crazy things, you're just like one step at a time. By adopting these agile principles, you maintain a focus on delivering value in small, frequent increments, right? 0.5% improvement every single day, and the next thing you know, you are over 300% better than you were when you started after listening to this podcast. Now, for my business owners out there, here are a couple of practical tips to establish consistent systems for identifying incremental improvements. First, schedule regular review sessions, weekly, monthly at least. Weekly might be a little bit too much. And schedule them with your team so that you can evaluate. Don't do this in a vacuum. That's why I say schedule with your team, to evaluate ongoing projects and the processes in those projects, right? And the processes in the business in general. You can use these sessions to collaborate. You can use collaborative tools like the SWOT analysis or the impact effect matrix, brainstorming combined with the impact and effect matrix. Now, this can also be done for my small business owners, my folks, just restarting, or kickstarting their side hustle. Do it with yourself. Get a trusted partner, right? That you believe in, that believes in you, and go through the same exercise. You see, I think one of the things we all need to do, whether we're part of a bigger business or we're just starting, or the mom or dad out there wanting to make a better life for our kids, we want to start something like capturing feedback. You want to make that, I don't care who you are, corporate executive, CEO, billionaire, or mom just starting with her dream. You want to make capturing feedback a part of your routine from your trusted mate, from your kids, from your customers, from industry peers. All of these feedback insights often highlight areas that are ripe for change that you might be overlooking. You don't want to overlook these things. You might be so focused on what it is you're trying to accomplish that the amazing change is just over here, just out of sight, just to your left. And someone just putting their finger on your chin and turning your head 2 degrees to the left, you're like, wow, I would have never seen that. Yeah. And then I think the last thing we all want to try and do is set aside some time each week. Yeah, this one you want to do each week for what I call a reflection session. This is a dedicated, quiet time where I will sit down and I'll kind of review the systems, the processes, the metrics that are involved. And I'll note where I might need some minor tweaks in order to yield a better impact. It could be a small impact or it could be a substantial impact. Look, if I did 3 recording sessions back to back to back to back, I would save all the setup time that lead into the recording session, right? I'm already pumped up and ready to do recording. Why just do 1? Why not do 3? It'll take me an extra 40 minutes, maybe an hour. However, it's saving me another hour of getting ready, sitting down, setting everything up, doing the lights, checking everything, getting into the podcast zone, as it were, right? Almost, it's a net zero, but it has a substantial positive effect. It's these little practices that keep you responsive, that keep you agile and moving and dodging and weaving in an ever-changing business environment. By consistently using these types of ideas and systems to pinpoint, evaluate, and tackle areas needing improvement, you can launch your business forward. Maybe not in leaps and bounds, but certainly in firm, successful strides. Yeah? All right. Now, my dark horse friends, let's bring this concept of incremental change to life, shall we? By delving into a couple of real life examples so that we can explore how businesses have embraced small, steady improvements to make significant strides forward. Maybe these stories can serve as a testament to you to the power of these gradual changes and show us all that greatness is really built one step at a time, not by some grandiose thing done, discovered overnight. No. These are years spent at the workbench, in the garage, in the testing facility, at the kitchen table, wherever it might be. First up, let's talk about a well-known tech company. Let's call them tech innovators, right? I don't want to put any names out here because some people might come back and say, oh, you're crazy. Fine, I'm crazy. This company was facing a plateau in their primary software product. Despite it being very popular and still very successful, sales had kind of just flatlined. Rather than opting for this large, grandiose, large-scale overhaul, they decided to focus on making small, user-driven updates.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Key phrase here, user-driven updates. This meant creating a feedback loop with those users and closely listening to their needs and their desires. And it was through this process that tech innovators introduced minor enhancements to existing features that were already there. They refined their user interface and occasionally added some new functionalities that directly addressed that user feedback that they got. These changes, though seemingly subtle by themselves, right, led to a vastly improved product experience over time. Not only did it boost their customer satisfaction scores, but it also fostered a brand loyalty that drove continual growth. Their hallmark of success in this endeavor brewed, it's percolated right to the top like a warm cup of coffee through consistent incremental improvements. Okay? Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be sharing the story here. Now, let's pivot over to the world of manufacturing. I've had a pretty diverse background across my 60 plus years on this planet, so I have a few hundred stories at least. But let's go into manufacturing, where systemic enhancements often create waves of efficiency that you don't think of when you first start the change. We're going to call this company Efficient Manufacturing Corp. Now, they've been dealing with these bottlenecks in their supply chain that have been affecting delivery timelines, as well, obviously, as customer satisfaction. So, once again, Much like our tech corp, instead of doing this complete system redesign, which is costly and, let's be honest, disruptive, they employed some lean manufacturing principles to optimize their supply chain one little bit at a time. By identifying and eliminating waste step by step, they improved processes, they enhanced cross-departmental communication, and they fostered this culture of continuous improvement. The result? Well, over time, these small enhancements resulted in significant reductions in production time and cost savings at the same time. Bonus, double win. Let's winner chicken dinner here, all while boosting overall productivity. I think the key takeaway I want you to come away from these examples lies in their shared focus on user and process-centered refinement. The end user is the important person here, not you, not your team, not those on the manufacturing floor, your end user. You start there, everything else after that is going to be just icing on the cake. By embracing small changes, both of these companies, yours included, not only mitigated risks associated with sweeping changes and vast overhauls, but they also increased their adaptability and engagement within their teams as well as from their customers. So, what lessons can you draw from these successes? They're not yours, but you can still draw some lessons from them. What lessons can we all draw from them? Well, let me give you a couple of thoughts I have. First, incremental change fosters a proactive culture. Even if you're just a one-man show, making these incremental changes fosters a proactive culture within yourself. And if you have a team, well, it certainly fosters a proactive culture where continuous feedback and continuous adaptation becomes your ally. Start small, involve your team. Even if that team is just you, go look in the mirror. It's your users. They're part of your team, right? Look at them that way. If it's someone you just is a trusted advisor or your spouse, involve them and commit to reviewing progress regularly. I think number 2, small victories, even little teeny tiny ones, breed momentum. And a series of little wins starts to generate confidence and willingness within yourself and within your team to advocate for further improvements. Yeah, remember, you've heard me say this any number of times for, oh gosh, we're almost on 500 episodes now. We're at 484 and growing. Across at least a couple hundred of them, put your pinky toe out of your comfort zone. You don't have to jump both feet out into the deep end of your uncomfort zone. Just your little pinky toe. Just a little bit. Because those small little victories will breed momentum and your comfort zone grows. This series of wins will generate confidence in your uncomforts and your comfort zone grows, and a willingness within yourself and your team to advocate for further improvements as your comfort zone grows. This creates a positive reinforcement cycle as your comfort zone grows. And lastly, patience. Ladies and gentlemen, patience is crucial. Significant transformations, yeah, they're going to take a little time. Tick, another time. And not only is it going to require a little time, it's going to require some consistent dedication to improvement as it gradually unleashes those profound results that we all want, we all desire, we dream of, and we deserve. Proving again, one more time, that sometimes slow and steady, like the turtle I mentioned earlier, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. I think these cases illustrate that by focusing on incremental advancements, any organization, no matter how small, tech, manufacturing, large, small, on the kitchen table, in the garage, in the basement, wherever it might be, can achieve marketable results through incremental advances. Little bitty baby steps. So, evaluate where you are right now and apply the lessons in your endeavors. And remember, greatness is cultivated one deliberate step at a time. That brings us to our Whisker Wisdom section. This is where we take the insights and turn them into action, helping you steer your parental and your entrepreneurial ship towards some better horizons with incremental and tangible steps. And today, I want to share some hands-on strategies that you can start implementing right away to bring these incremental changes into your day-to-day life, into your day-to-day operations. These aren't just theoretical concepts, ladies and gentlemen. These are actual, real techniques proven to catalyze positive momentum in your life, in your business. First and foremost, let's talk about the morning minute meetings. Set aside a brisk, focused meeting every morning. Let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Here's the thing. It could be with yourself, or it could be with your team to exchange ideas and identify areas of opportunity, some trusted advisor. Here's what's going to happen. You may not need 15 minutes, but the fact that you took the time to sit down and say, here's something I saw. Here's a win. You share it and you acknowledge it and you discuss it. Maybe it only takes 4 minutes. Cool, we did it. But sometimes you might need that whole 15 minutes. You have it there. This daily routine becomes fertile ground for fresh perspectives and insights, fostering this environment where small changes are welcomed and small changes are freaking celebrated. Now, next, let's consider leveraging idea boxes. Okay? I don't care whether it's physical or digital, provide your employees, your users, your prospects a platform to anonymously submit improvement suggestions, right? And then regularly review these submissions so that you can get all those actionable insights and recognize the contributors if they sign their name. I know it could be anonymous and sometimes they have to be to get the really good ones, but those that contribute and sign their name to it, recognize them. Say, oh man, this is to my man John Smith out there, one of the longtime users of our product, and he said we needed to do this, and we're doing it.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Often those working directly with the processes have the best ideas. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the person you have folding or creating or publishing, whatever it is. They may have this one little idea and they're thinking in the back of their mind, you know what, if Tracy would only do this one thing, it would make my job so much easier. Create a space where they can submit that and you can make things easier for everyone involved. Now, in terms of day-to-day operations, implement the start, stop, continue technique. Here's what I mean by this. What you want to do is schedule monthly sessions, maybe part of the monthly sessions we mentioned earlier, where you're going to look at the processes and the practices that you're using within your business. Which ones need to be stopped? As the market changes, as your business changes, as heck, just the world changes, something needs to be stopped. Maybe you created something, I used to do this all the time on LinkedIn, and now it's stopped performing. Well, then why waste the time doing it? Remember I talked about going and look at the 80-20 rule? Which one of those processes are in that 80% of junk you need to be doing anymore? Now, on the other side of that, what needs to be started? Is there something you're not doing that you could start getting huge benefits from? Yeah. And then what needs to be continued, right? You're looking at it. Yep, it's working well. It's getting us the results we want. We need to continue doing it. And by actively involving other members of your team, other members of your trusted circle, you empower them to take ownership of these changes, ensuring their buy-in and ensuring their sustained enthusiasm for improving initiatives, for improving the business overall. And if it's just you, fine, it's just you. You're going to build that own momentum within inside of you. And an effective way to involve your team, if you have one, and it could just, and these could be contractors too. Contractors are teammates. By involving your team is by creating focus pods. These are like small little cross-departmental groups. I know some of you aren't there yet, but for those of you that are, I want to put something out for everybody. So these are these small cross-departmental groups. Maybe even some users are in there as well, tasked with evaluating a specific business area and suggesting some minor tweaks. Yeah, this is just another way of doing it, right? These little focus pods are encouraging these groups to meet regularly and provide we'll call it a structured approach of pursuing continuous improvement. This helps you avoid that silo mentality that so many businesses begin to get as they get a little bit bigger. All of a sudden, you've got the front end and the back end. You could have a restaurant where the front of the restaurant thinks, well, if the back would just do this and just do that. And meanwhile, those folks that are back there cooking your food and setting up the back are thinking, well, gosh, if the front of the house would just do this and just do that. Well, let's get them together to hash out some of these things. Maybe there's a reason the front doesn't do that and the back doesn't do this. Maybe there's an alternate solution through that brainstorming process, okay? And I think, moreover, you want to cultivate a feedback-rich culture by encouraging direct, constructive communication, right? Oh, here's a gem I want to share with you. I believe can really elevate your progress. The small wins log. Yeah, maybe you add this to your 5-minute meeting that we talked about earlier. It's not just a place to record things. I think it's a place to celebrate them. Create a shared document that anyone you want to allow input on can go in and log a small victory each day, every day. Each week, maybe they resolved a minor glitch. Maybe they received some positive customer feedback, or maybe they just received a successful test or have a new idea. Yeah, you put this out there, and all of a sudden you'll start getting all these great wins and these great ideas. Why might this one be so impactful? Well, I think mostly because it reinforces that positive habit loop. Recognizing progress, recognizing wins, seeing they're cared about, seeing you're cared about yourself as you review your own wins log, even if you're in the entrepreneurial space where it feels so lonely, right? Yeah. You go back and look at the progress I've made. Yeah. See, you recognize that progress, however small. It keeps the motivation high and it keeps the momentum going. As the log grows, so does your confidence, so does your ambition, so does the team's confidence and the collective's ambition. Commit to reviewing this log periodically during those meetings, right? Spotlighting contributions, celebrating achievements, hop on your social media and talk about it. These are amazing things that we're doing. This not only motivates anyone in your sphere of influence, but also creates this cohesive culture focused on progress and innovation. So, wow, I didn't want this episode to be this long. I just wanted it to be a build of yesterday's, but I just got on a roll and I couldn't stop myself. Here's your challenge. This week, pick one of these strategies. Just one. Don't try them all. All right? It's just like that's overwhelm. Pick one of these strategies and implement it. Nurture it and watch as that incremental success becomes the heartbeat of your business. Remember, my dark horse friends and family, transformation is not a sudden event. It doesn't just hit you. It's a gentle evolution, one small step at a time. Even your puppy takes a year or two to grow to full size. Why should your business grow overnight? Okay? Now, as we wrap up our journey through the art of incremental change today, it's clear that mastering this principle is a powerful tactic for sustainable long-term business success, for sustainable long-term relationship success as a spouse, as a parent, as a business owner. The stories we shared and the strategy we've explored all point to, I think, personally, one conclusion. Significant achievements arise from consistent, deliberate efforts. The grandeur of transformation is born not from sudden leaps, but from small, purposeful strides forward. So I challenge you, take this week to choose one area of your life, one area of your business. Perhaps it's customer service. Perhaps it's product development. Maybe it's team efficiency if you're lucky enough to have a team. Whatever it might be, apply the principles of incremental change. Let each small win propel you towards the brighter horizons that you dream, desire, and deserve. And here's an extra exciting opportunity to deepen your journey. I'd like to personally invite you to sign up for the brand new Dark Horse Marketing Newsletter. It's tailored to deliver the latest tips, the latest ideas, and the latest strategies directly into your inbox. It's going to be focused on transforming your side hustle into your main hustle. So whether you're just starting, restarting, or looking to kickstart your parental entrepreneurial dreams, this newsletter, my friends, will be your ally. And here's the cool thing. You can get your first free copy. Head on over to darkhorseschooling.com/newsletter and join a community that is passionate about driving real sustainable change. Your stories and your experiences, I think, shape our community. So let's keep the conversation going. Engage with us by sharing your incremental change stories and incremental change experiences on social media, and go ahead and tag us, hashtag Dark Horse Entrepreneur, or at, whatever platform you're on. I'm on all of them. And let's celebrate each of the small victories we have together and inspire others along the way. Remember, my friends, every story of progress, big or small, has the potential to ignite change in someone else. Wow. Sorry, like I said, didn't mean to go this long, but here we are. I want to thank you for being part of the Dark Horse family, for hanging out with us 40-some minutes into this. Your commitment to growth and continuous improvement energizes every single episode we create. As you step into the week, carry with you this powerful reminder. Success isn't a single destination. No. I think success is a journey marked by the footsteps of every deliberate action that you take. Until next time, I am ever your humble host, Tracy Brinkmann, reminding you to stay the course, chase your dreams, and keep building that legacy, one small change at a time. Think successfully and take action.
Hey, my Dark Horse Entrepreneur parents, thanks for tuning in. If this episode struck a chord, share it with a fellow parent hustler. Let's grow our tribe that thrives, not just survives. For more insights and a community that totally gets it, join our Facebook group at www.darkhorseschooling.com/tribe. Think successfully and take action.